Hello, good day everyone. We are now in topic 5 of our pre-calculus subject, which talks about series and sigma notation. Series and sigma notation. The competencies: at the end of the session, the students illustrate series, differentiate series from a sequence, use the sigma notation to represent a series, and apply the use of sigma notation in finding the sums. So the code STEM PC 11 SMI-1H-1-3. Okay, what is a sequence? A sequence is a function whose domain is the set of positive integers where each number in it is called a term. It has a list of numbers separated by commas. Kaya ano kailan na mo kung say sequence, no? Classification of sequence. Sequence can either be infinite or finite. So when we say infinite sequence, the domain is the set of positive integers, that is, the set containing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on. So meaning infinite gani, y limit, no? Up to the positive infinity. Whereas when we say finite sequence or finite sequence, the domain is a finite or finite subset of positive integers from 1 to n. That is, the set containing 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on up to n. So, meaning, kung ngayon tag finite sequence, limited. So, naa si Jn. For example, ngayon tag sequence from 1 to 100. Sequence containing even numbers from 2 to 50. Sa ito pa mo, and dito na ay specific nga katapusan. Okay? And then, we have this example. The triangular number, we have 1, 3, 6, 10, 15, and 21 form a sequence. So, the in term of the sequence is, we have t sub n is equal to n over 2 times quantity n plus 1, where t sub n indicates the n term, t sub 1 is the first term, and n represents the number of terms, and what is the series? A series represents the sum of the terms of a sequence. It indicates the sum of the terms of the given sequence. It has a list of numbers separated by a plus or a minus sign. So, when we say series, ato na to si Jan, dili ng series sa Christmas tree, no? Kanang sa Christmas lights, a series atong gimin. But ang series is the sum of the sequence. When we say sequence, it is nagsunod-sunod ng mga numbers, no? Separated by comma. And then, ang series, mo separate sa duha ka numbers or magsunod-sunod ng mga numbers could either be plus or minus sign because we are going to find the sum of the sequence when we say series. Okay. We have also the classification of series, maparehara po sa sequence, which are the infinite series. It is the sum of an infinite sequence. Then finite series is the sum of the finite sequence, or the sum of the first n terms. Example, if we are going to find the sum of the first 5 terms of the triangular number 1, 3, 6, 10, 15, and 21. So, if we are going to find the sum of the first 5 terms, so we have to add 1 plus 3 plus 6 plus 10 plus 15. So, kutob ito 15 kay first 5 Brahman. So, 1 plus 3 is 4 plus 6 is 10 plus 10 is 20 plus 15 is 35. So, the series is 35. Anara, no? So, anara ka sa dyan. Okay. Another example is we are going to determine the first 4 terms of each defined sequence and give their associated series. Okay, for the first one, for number 1, first we have the set of 3 minus n. So first, we are going to identify the 4 terms wherein when we say t sub 1 that represents the first term, t sub 2 is the second term, t sub 3 is term 3, and t sub 4 will be the fourth term. So for t sub 1, our n is 1, so therefore 3 minus 1 equals 2. Then 3 minus 2 equals 1. Then 3 minus 3 equals 0. And 3 minus 4 equals negative 1. So finding the series, the sum of 4 terms is equal to 2 plus 1 plus 0 plus negative 1. Excuse me. So the sum therefore is equal to positive 2. Okay. The next one is we have the number 2 is the set that may contain 1 plus 3n plus 2n squared. Okay. So we are going to find t sub 1, t sub 2, t sub 3, and t sub 4. So for t sub 1, we have to substitute all the n here with 1. So we have 1 plus 3 times 1 plus 2 times 1 squared. So therefore, it must be 1 plus 3 times 1 is 3 plus 2 times 1, which is equal to 1 plus 3, 2 times 1 is 2, so 2 plus 3 is 5 plus 1 is 6. Next is, we have to substitute the n with number 2. So we have 1 plus 3 times 2 plus 2 times 2 squared. Okay, and this is equal to 1 plus 6 plus 2 times 2 is 4 times 2 is 8. So therefore, the sum is equal to 15. Okay, for t sub 3, substituting the n with 3. So we have 1 plus 3 times 3 plus 3 times 3 squared. No, it's 2. Sorry, 2 times 3 squared is equal to 1 plus 3 times 3 is 9 plus 9 times 2 is 18. So this will give us the sum of 1 plus 9 is 10 plus 18 is 28. For t sub 4, we have to substitute n with 4, so that is why we can now have 1 plus 12 plus 2 times 4 squared, which will be equal to 1 plus, no, 3 times 4 pa ni. Nag-una na akong mind. Okay, plus 3 times 4 plus 2 times 4 squared. So 1 plus 12 plus 2 times 16 are equal to 1 plus 12 plus 32. So this is 13 plus 32 is equal to 45. Okay, so getting S of 4, this will be equal to 6 plus 15 plus 28 plus 45. So this is 60 plus 28 is 88 plus 6 is equal to 94. Okay, so ana ra kasadyo, no? Okay, so let's proceed to the next. Okay, we have number 3. So number 3 is the set containing negative 2 to the power of n. So again, we are to find t sub 1, t sub 2, t sub 3, and t sub 4. So for t sub 1, we are going to substitute the n with 1. For t sub 2, we have to substitute the n with 2. And for t sub 3, we have to replace the n with 3. And t sub 4, the n will be replaced with 4. Okay, so simplifying, we can now have a negative 2, positive 4, then negative 8, and 16. So our so our S, so in this case, we have negative 2, 4, negative 8, 16. So S sub 4 is equal to negative 2 plus 4 minus 8 plus 16, and that is 4 plus 16 is 20. Then negative 2 plus negative 8 is negative 10. So 20 minus 10 is 10. Okay, then next is number 4. Okay, for number 4, we have, for t sub 1 is, because karera man mo ay imong last, so this would be 4. So for t sub 1 is 1. Our t sub 2 is adding 1 plus 2. And then t sub 3 is 1 plus 2 plus 3. And t sub 4 is equal to 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4. Okay, so this is 1. And t sub 2 is 3. T sub 4 is 6. And, oh no, t sub 3 is 6. And t sub 4 is 10. So getting the sum of the 4 terms, we have 10 plus 6 is 16 plus 3 is 19 plus 1. So therefore, we've got 20 for the sum of all terms. Okay, So let's proceed to the different types of sequences. The first one is we have the what we call as the arithmetic sequence. The second is geometric sequence. The third is harmonic sequence. And the last one is the Fibonacci sequence. Okay. For the arithmetic sequence and series, so when we say arithmetic sequence, it is where each term is formed by adding a constant d to the previous term to get the next term. Sa ato pa, ang usa ka term ngadto sa mga next terms na siya constant nga difference. Okay? So, mao na imong ilhanan nga it is arithmetic kung ang first nga term ngadto sa second na siya constant nga difference, the second ngadto sa third. Ug imong i-subtract sila, the same ang mga difference. Okay? So, mo ni si D. So, the constant D is called the common difference. Okay? For an arithmetic sequence, the formula is given to find the end term is T sub n is equal to T sub 1 or the first term plus quantity n minus 1 times the common difference. So, wherein T sub n represents the end term, T1 is the first term, n is the number of terms, and d is the common difference. And then for the arithmetic series, the formula is, we have these two formulas. The first one is if you know the last term. So what you are going to do is just add the first term plus the last term times the number of terms divided by 2. Okay, the second formula is if you don't know the last term, so you need to find the last term first, or pwede ra og idiretso na nimo wherein ang atong T sub n is gi-replacean na nato og formula from the series. So that's why it becomes n quantity 2 times T sub 1 or the first term plus quantity n minus 1 times the d all over 2. Okay? So, where the S sub n represents the partial sum, then T sub n is the nth term, T sub 1 is the first term, and n is the number of terms. And the last one, d, is the common difference. So, for example, if a certain private school offers monthly starting of 20,000 and an increase of 100 per month, what is the salary of a teacher on the 36th month? What is the total amount of salaries for 3 years? Okay. So first, what we're going to do is to find P sub 36. Okay, 36 man na. So we are going to find P sub 36. So from here, we should find the given. So since 20,000 is the starting salary, so therefore we are going to represent a T sub 1 with 20,000. And then our number of terms is 36. And the D is 100. So that will be our common difference. Kay mao man ay i-add monthly, di ba? So to find A, we are going to use the formula T sub 36 is equal to T sub 1 or the first term plus quantity n minus 1 times the common difference of D. So our first term is 20,000 plus 36 for n minus 1 times 100. So that is why we now have 20,000 plus 36 minus 1 is 35 times 100. So we can have 3,600. No, naguna. Okay. We have 35 times 100 is 3,500, which is 20,000 plus 3,500 is 23,500. Okay, so mao na iyang salary inika after 3 years. So ang pangutana next is what is the total amount of salary for 36 months or 3 years. Okay, so ang atong basihan, we have to convert na pod 3 years to 36. So di pwede og 3 years mong gamiton kay dili man yearly ang pag-add og 100, di ba? So the given here would be T1 is 20,000. Again, N is 36 and the D is 100. So from 3 years na convert na to 36 kay there are 36 months in 3 years. So since we know already, pwede ka makagamit sa kadtong first nga formula nga S of 36 is equal to N quantity T1 plus Tn all over 2. Anong pwede man? Because we have already here the 23,500. So kung wa pa ni siya, pwede rin katong gamiton like the computation we have in your module. Okay, so ako lamang gigamit ang kani nga paagi para you have choice. You have the choice. Huh? Okay. So, N is 36. Our N here is 36 multiplied to 20,000 plus 23,500, which is our Tn or T36 niya is 23,500 using the computation of the first all over 2. So, simplifying further, we have 36 divided by 2 is 18 multiplied to 43,500. So, multiplying that 2, therefore, we can have the sum of 36 months is 783,000 pesos. Okay, so therefore we can say that the total amount of money that will be earned by the teacher in 3 years is 783,000 pesos, with the monthly salary at the end of the 36th month is 23,500 pesos. Okay, so ano sa genre atong lesson so far. Okay, so we have the next one is the geometric sequence and series. Geometric sequence is where each term is formed by multiplying a constant r to the previous term to the next term. So, kung ang arithmetic sequence is mag-add ka og constant difference, then ang karon na pod is multiply na pod siya, wherein the constant r is what we call as the common ratio. So the formula of getting the nth term of a geometric sequence is given by t sub n is equal to t sub 1 times quantity r to the n minus 1, wherein the r must not be equal to 0. Okay? So dili pwede kay og magmulti ang imong r is 0, so 0 na tanan, diba? And then for this, the t sub n represents the nth term. Then t1 is the first term, n is the number of terms, and r is the common ratio. For the geometric series, we have also two formulas wherein actually parehara na sila, murag nagbaylo-baylo laman ang kaning usawan minus the ratio and then ratio minus 1, that is because depende ra na ninyo kung sa inyong ganahan. Where S sub n represents partial sum, t sub n is the nth term, t1 is the first term, n is the number of terms, and d is the common ratio. Okay, example, suppose that a graduating student saves 25 pesos on June, 50 pesos on July, and 100 pesos on August, and so on. So how much will he save on February if each month he plans to save twice as much of what he saves the month before? How much is his total savings from June to February? Okay, so in order to solve for the A, we are going to find the P sub n, diba? And pila may imong n, so diba from June to February is we have June to July, August, September, October, November, December, January, February. So we have June, then July to August, September, June, July, August, September, October, November, December, January, February. So we have 9 months. So meaning we are going to find t sub 9. Okay, and then the given would be t sub 1 is equal to 25, kaya natusugod mag 25, then n is 9, and what's the ratio, the r? It's 2 because we have each month twice as much, ato pa i-multiply og 2, no? So from here we have t sub 9 is equal to t sub 1 quantity r to the n minus 1. So, aning nga part, you need to have the calculator na siya. So, di pwede o di ka mag-calculate ka exponent na ni siya. Okay, so the t sub 1 is 25 times your r is 2, then to the 8 power, kay 9 minus 1. So that is why we have 2 to the power of 8, that is multiplying 2 8 times. So 2 times 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 2. And that would be equal to 256. So 25 times 256 is equal to 6,400. So after 9 months, inig ka 9 months, ang iyang i-deposit na ka February 6,400 na nakadako. Okay, to find the B, we have the sum of n, mao na nagipangita. So we have again using this, and we have t sub 9 of 6,400. So, ang atong formula nga gamiton is S sub n is equal to t sub 1 quantity r to the n minus 1 all over r minus 1. So, ganahan ko ingani karon di tama lipat sa negative kaya ang minusan og 1 kaysa ang 1 minusan mo r, no? Na negative man. So, our t sub 1 is 25 times r to the r is 2 exponent 9 minus 1 all over 9 out 2 minus 1. So we can now have 25 times what is 2 to the 9 is 256 times 2, that would be 512 minus 1 all over 1. So that is why this becomes 25 times 511. Subtracting 512 minus 1, and that is why the sum of all the deposits from June to February is equal to 12,775. Okay, at the end of the month, dako na siya cash of deposit, no? At the end of February. Okay. The next one is we have the harmonic sequence. Harmonic sequence is a sequence whose reciprocals form an arithmetic sequence. So, atong balihon ang iyang mga terms. I-reciprocal na to para mahimong arithmetic sequence. So, since gamit na siyang arithmetic sequence, meaning ang atong formula nga gamiton is the same as the arithmetic sequence. Now, our t sub n is the n term, t1 is the first term, n is the number of terms, and d is the common difference. So, for example, that we are going to find the 12th term of the harmonic sequence, 1 over 9, 1 over 12, and 1 over 15. So, what you are going to do is a reciprocal sa nato. So, the reciprocal of this harmonic sequence would be 9, 12, 15. And in this case, notice that a 9 plus 12 minus 9 is 3, 15 minus 12 is also 3. So that means your d here is 3, t sub 1 is 9, and we are going to find the t sub 12. Okay? So from here, to find the t sub 12, it would be equal to t sub 1 plus quantity n minus 1 times d. So our t sub 1 is 9 plus the n is 12 minus 1 times the common difference of 3. So we have 9 plus 12 minus 1 is 11 times 3. So we can now have 9 plus 33, and the sum therefore is equal to 42. So meaning we can conclude that ang imo daang t sub 12 of the harmonic sequence is equal to 1 over 42. So ibalik na pa mo ang reciprocal to find the harmonic sequence. Okay? So next would be the Fibonacci sequence. So Fibonacci sequence is a sequence defined by t sub n is equal to t sub n minus 1 plus t sub n minus 2 for n is greater than or equal to 3. So 3 dapat kay og di mag 3 mahimo mang 0, t sub 0 ang kani siya, no? So, mag-start mo dyan ta sa t sub 1. Okay, so where t sub 1 and t sub 2 is equal to 1. So, mag-una dyan ng 1, 1 dyan na sa dyan kanunay. So, its terms are 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, and 13. Yun sama na, di ba? Ang next ko nga term, so na dyan yung duhadaan. Ang next ko nga term, ang ika-third, puna, imura ng tuhaon by adding 1 plus 1 is 2. 1 plus 2 is 3. 2 plus 3 is 5. 3 plus 5 is 8. 5 plus 8 is 13. So, the next for 13 is 8 plus 13 is 21. Diba? Okay. So, for example, we are going to write down the 16 terms of the Fibonacci. Okay, 16 ko, no? So, the first one is 1, then followed by 1. So, ang next is 2, then 1 plus 2 is 3, 2 plus 3 is 5, 3 plus 5 is 8, 8 plus 5 is 13, 8 plus 13 is 21, 13 plus 21 is 34, 21 plus 34 is 55, 34 plus 55 is 89, 55 plus 89 is 144, 89 plus 144 is 233. Then 233 plus 144 is 377. 233 plus 377 is 610. 610 plus 377 is 987. Sakto ba na ika-16? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Okay. And every third term ko no is divisible by what greatest number? Third term. So, 2, 8, 34, 144, and 610. So, meaning, you can say that every third term is divisible by the third term is divisible by 2. Diba? Kaya nga naman, puro man sila mga even. No? Okay, mo ni ang third term. Okay, next question. How about the fourth term? Ang mga every fourth term. Ay man ang every fourth term. We have 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 21. 1, 2, 3, 4. 144. Then 1, 2, 3, 4. What can you say? Okay, it's divisible by 3. What about the fifth term? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, it's divisible by 5. Okay, nindot no? Okay. Next is what na? Kay ako sang giputol kay murag taas na no. Okay, did you learn something today? So I do hope we'll continue with sigma notation sa other na video. Akong giputol kay murag taas na, naglamura ba ko na mong taas na kay di na mo kasabot bitaw for taas nga mga videos na ho pwede naman na i-jump put doon kung kanang kapudyan mamutanaw. Ha? I-party chop na laman ang videos, then you can continue anytime. Okay? Basta ako lamang gipaningkamutan nga I can provide you this video lesson kay di man lagi ta pwede mag face to face. So if ever na may mga questions regarding this lesson, you can message me. Ha? Anytime. Okay, so what you're going to do is to answer the activity given. Kanang activity sa last page. So, answering na ninyo. And this is my quote nga akong ikuha from Quotes Style. Quotes Life. That life is a changing sequence of situations. If you do not change something, something will change you. Okay, God bless everyone. Thank you for listening and watching this video. Bye-bye.